Hey guys, so I have this huge question in my head, and I've found out through a couple of beers here and there around town that a lot of you also are confused by this. Why do we keep hearing in the paper that, oh my God, there's these crazy tariffs on cars and the whole world's going to crap? And, well, wait, the Stellantis plant in Windsor just added a third shift after not having a third shift for 5 years. And we're increasing the number of workers there by 1,500 people in the middle of a trade war where cars are supposed to be crazy high and expensive now. So, guys, I have distilled this down. I have figured this out with the help of artificial intelligence, and I'm going to explain the method to the madness here. And I'm really surprised that the media isn't picking up on this more. I'm Reese Trainell from the Vanguard team at Manor Realty. Yes, I am more of a real estate guy, but we do a ton of real estate investment down here. And I feel it's my job and responsibility to understand this stuff well enough so that you guys can make educated decisions on how you're going to invest, right? Especially with us down in Windsor. So I dug down with artificial intelligence, right? Because I know that we're under the free trade agreement with the United States still, the USMCA. And I know that if the car is at least 50% American parts, it falls under the USMCA compliance and there's no tariffs. Right. But there's also tariffs on aluminum and there's tariffs on steel. So how does that affect building the car? I broke it down. Right. And so when it comes to the cars and minivans, Dodge Chargers, by the way, guys, and Chrysler Pacifica is the number one selling minivan in the world. They're only built here. Okay. So how does it affect you, the end consumer? Right. And I looked at it. And so the average lease in Canada is $450 a month. The average financing, assuming 72 months, is about $1,000 a month. And you're only adding about $30 a month for these products, these cars and minivans, et cetera, that are made in Windsor because we're USMCA compliant, right? So I'm assuming most of that $30 a month is the tariffs on the steel and on the aluminum because there's no tariffs on the actual cars themselves. So and I'm sorry, guys, I'm assuming you're one of the 82% of people in Canada that either lease or finance your cars. And so when you look at it like that and you go, it's going to add 1.5% to my lease and it's going to add, 3% to my lease or 1.5% to my financing. It's like, oh, this is why they're adding a third shift at Stellantis. There's demand, and I'm reading it, there's demand for those Chrysler Pacificas. There's demand for those Dodge Chargers. And I think partially because if you brought in similar cars from overseas, you would be adding a lot more, like $150 a month to that lease or to that financing. So this to me made a lot of sense. And why is it important to you if you're an out-of-town real estate investor? I think it's very important to understand that these announcements keep coming despite the tariff trade war. Windsor still keeps getting big announcements. You've got another 1,500 people that are going to be working at the Stellantis plant. And you've got to remember, the Stellantis plant is big as a small village. It's humongous. So when you add 1,500 people directly to that shop, you have to understand that all the tool and die and all the tool and mold and all these stamping plants, all in Windsor, they now have to add third shifts, right? Because it's all just-in-time delivery here. So this isn't just about the 1,500 jobs at the Stellantis plant. It's all these feeder Tier 1 and Tier 2 plants that also have to add a third shift. Does this make sense? So you're talking over 12, 15,000 jobs, depending on who you listen to. It's an 8-to-1 to 10-to-1 ratio that will come to the community, right? And this is on top of all the announcements that are still surrounding the mothership battery plant that's about to come online. And guys, when that comes online, that is going to create and manufacture more battery capacity than the entire United States combined, plus 1 gigajoule. So that includes Elon Musk and the Telus guys, all of them. They can all be wrapped up into one battery plant in Windsor, Ontario. That's how huge this is. And so the plants that support that plant are still getting announced. So Mint from Taiwan just announced 1,149 jobs in a plant that they're already aggressively building. And what didn't hit the news, I just learned this from one of the top guys at Invest Windsor-Essex today. Mint is doing another joint venture plant with a Japanese company, and they've already started aggressively building that plant. It's just as big as the other plant, but it didn't hit the news. So it's just like, it's still going, man. It's still going. Despite the tariffs, it's still chugging along And Windsor is still going through the beginnings of its second golden age, economically speaking. As an investor, this becomes important because you need to know how your investment is going to perform with us over the next 5 to 7 years at a minimum. And guys, we don't have enough housing down here. And you're getting these announcements. I don't know where anybody is going to live. It has not stopped despite economic slowdowns in Canada, and it has not stopped the announcements and the third shift at the Stellantis plant. Like, do you need any more observational evidence than Stellantis adding its third shift in the middle of a freaking trade war? Okay? What's going to happen once this is all settled and sorted out? What happens to Windsor then? Right? Strap a rocket to the back of this city because it's going to be flying and we're not going to have enough housing. So you as a real estate investor have to understand the opportunity there, where before you could ride that gravy train in Toronto of buying pre-construction condos, except that's all gone. So now what are you going to do with your money knowing that real estate is how 80% of the world's wealthy get wealthy? What are you going to do, right? Windsor is one of those viable options, and it's a viable option for these reasons that I continue to discuss in these videos. I'm not making this stuff up. I'm using raw data, and I'm conveying that raw data to you in ways that benefits you as an investor. Guys, if you want to see more of this, subscribe below. Our Facebook investment group is also below. I populate the Facebook group and our email list, which you can also subscribe to through the landing page link below. Subscribe, because I'm not going to bore you with crap that you don't need. You're going to get our exclusive listings, right? And I was just saying on another video before this that I just recorded, like we're doing a $3 million double ender deal right now, and it's at a 7 cap, like a true 7 cap, and the remaining leases on the place, both institutional, by the way, AAA tenants, the leases are for another 7 years, right? Are you going to get that on the MLS? Not in a million years. And we do that all the time. That's over 50% of our sales. So if you want access to that, we need to know that you're serious, not in just getting wealthy, but you're serious in seeing us as your financial real estate advisors for Windsor, Ontario. And if you are that dedicated to us, we will be dedicated to you, and everybody gets wealthy together. And that's how it works. If you want to jump around agent to agent, don't sign up. We don't need you. I'm Reese Trento from the Vanguard team at Manor Realty. Ooh, that was a little attitude at the end, but it's true. We don't need you. We're busy enough.